Good morning and hello. Welcome back to Grand Bazaar. It is the 29th, the day after our final bazaar of spring, and we're going to have a few visitors this morning. The first is going to be Enrique, who's going to bring our brand new chick over. Taking care of chickens is very similar to how it is in most games. Chicken care doesn't really change from game to game, but we will let Enrique kind of teach us anyways, just because there might be something I miss if I don't let him go over it. So we can take the chickens out on nice days, and they'll eat automatically. We pick them up like we would an item, and we throw them. Very simple, doesn't take any time at all. And we put the chickens into that nice little fenced area that we have just outside the coop. We need to keep them in on rainy days, obviously, and we can feed them chicken feed, which we put into the little area beneath our feet here, and it's pretty easy to tell when it starts to get empty. It's a pretty wide area that the feed gets spread over. So we want to make sure that we have chicken feed on us in case of bad weather, and if we have it, we can put it into the storage, and the storage will put it into this little dispenser, which is pretty neat. It's a little bit more automated that way. And then we buy our chicken feed from Raul. He'll now have that at his store. And this is an older Harvest Moon game, remember, so they haven't yet taken out the system where animals just don't die and are immortal. You need to talk to your animals and keep them healthy, otherwise they'll get stressed, lonely, and the likelihood of them getting sick goes up. Animals can get sick and die in this game. We can also buy animal medicine from Raul's shop as well. And if you fail to do that, they will die of neglect. And the other thing that he didn't mention is that your animals will die naturally of old age, and that is the only way to get rid of animals is by death of some sort, either from illness or from old age. Once you have animals, you cannot sell them. So just keep that in mind as you have commitments to these animals. And then once our chicken grows up, they will lay 1 egg per day if they're healthy and happy. And the happier they are, the better quality eggs that we'll get. Pretty straightforward. One thing that Raul didn't mention that I think is important is that animals sort of have this bedtime of 8 p.m. So if you're moving animals in and out of the barn, you want to make sure that you're bringing them back inside before 8 p.m. because interacting with them after that time will actually decrease their happiness. They'll be annoyed that you've woken them up. So it's really good to prioritize your animal care, and I'll get into that a little bit more once we can actually interact with our chicken, which should be shortly. So Enrique is going to go on his way, and then we will also have another visitor. Wilbur is just going to come and let us know that he managed to finish up our secondary field that we ordered. As much as I would love to go and continue my train of thought about animals. I can't, because if I try to leave my house, we will be prompted to go and look at the results of the bazaar. I think it's worth hearing. The only thing that happens, by the way, if you don't go, is that you won't get any prizes if you're in the top 3 or if you have the best customers. But most importantly, the bazaar will not expand, even if you're at a point where the bazaar is due to expand because of the sales goal being met. So it is always a really good idea to go and hear the results of the bazaar, just in case you miss out on any of those really important things. Unless you've had an unusually crappy week and you just know that the whole week is a write-off and you don't even want to bother, but I always come and listen anyways. And I'm actually surprised that the 3rd place earner didn't even make it into the sales goal. I thought for sure that we would have been 3rd or not even in the top 3, but we got 2nd again. Which is news to me and pretty excellent, so awesome. Wilbur was very busy doing some carpentry work, it looks like. And then the happiest customers, I think if we had had more customers earlier on, it would have been pretty easy for us to reach that point, but it took a really long time for anybody to come and talk to us, so unfortunately, the only thing we've done is get into that 2nd place slot. But I still think that's pretty good, considering that I was really struggling. So we are nowhere near the point where the bazaar is going to expand anytime soon from what Felix is telling us. So we just have to keep at it. And so because of that, the sales goal is still going to be the same. $40,000 to $50,000, which right now seems pretty manageable, but we might struggle with that as we get into our next bazaar. The problem with our first bazaar come summer is that we don't have access to the summer seeds for another couple days, and by the time we do get access to the seeds on the Wednesday, we only have a couple days worth of growth before the Saturday bazaar. So you're kind of in a unique position this week. We will have to see what happens when we actually get there. But just be warned of that. If you've been doing really well, getting the hang of things, and you've been meeting those sales goals, don't be surprised if the first bazaar of summer doesn't go as well as you'd hoped. So now that we have a chick, my priority is going to be to let the animal out pretty much as soon as the day starts. And the reason for that is because A, we need to bring them in before 8 o'clock, as I mentioned earlier, but it takes about 5 hours of in-game time to pass for your animals to actually be registered as being fed when they're outside. So it's pretty easy just to kind of let them out when your day starts. It's a little bit more difficult to let out cows and other animals that you have to actually physically push outside the barn, but there is a point where we will get a bell, thankfully. And then you'll see this brand new staircase to the left of our storage, and this is where our brand new field has gone. This field is the same size as our other field. This gives us 54 additional squares to work with. And so we have turnips to grab. I'm not too worried about that right now. I'd rather go and forage. And I'm also going to put my tea leaves into the windmill for our festival tomorrow. They should have lots of time to process. I could have also just left them as is, but I figured we'd put them in the windmill and give everybody actual tea. And then, am I able to make some high quality fertilizer? No, I don't have good quality branches, unfortunately. I'm trying to stockpile all of my higher quality fertilizer for some crops come summertime. It is so annoying that you can't pause in this game, so I'm just looking at my bed right now because the plan for today, without passing any time unnecessarily, is to kind of have a little bit of a social episode. I've put items in my inventory that are good for pretty much every single villager. And I know I'm doing this really late. This is probably a video that would have been much better done earlier on in the month, because now we're reaching the end of some of the items that we're able to get. But I kept thinking, how am I going to go about doing this and kind of talking about what people like? And I figured the best thing was just to take the items and go. So we have all day today. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I should be able to find most people. I may have to wait until later to find some of our city dwellers if they go to town on a Sunday. So Angelo, if you have yellow flowers, yellow is his favorite color, but he also loves walnuts, and the walnut is a 500 point gift for him as opposed to the flower, which will give 150. So if you're playing as a female character and you're interested in Angelo, you want to see all of his events, it's actually really easy to get his friend points up earlier on if you give him walnuts. They don't sell for much, and we can't really do much with them right now, so I think that that's a good choice. And Lloyd here will take all bugs, all frogs, and moondrop flowers. But I'm gonna save my moondrop flowers for other characters because they give the same value of friendship. And then really, my plans for the rest of the month are just to stockpile on what flowers I can. I'm also going to be doing a lot of butterfly hunting. Next month, we will have the ability to catch butterflies still, but it's significantly diminished. They're pretty rare to find in the summertime. It gets replaced with a whole bunch of other bugs. I don't really have a good gift for Dirk. I've just been giving him frogs, but I think it's only like a neutral gift, which barely gives you any friendship points at all. Antoinette, ooh, she has a purple heart now. Well, my gift giving has been paying off. She enjoys the magic blue flowers, but she also enjoys frogs, which I have mentioned a couple of times. I just stockpile those suckers when it starts to rain. It looks like her dad is home. And he enjoys the magic blue flowers. You can also give him sea urchins, but it's much more effective economically just to give him the blue flower. And if you want to marry Antoinette, you are actually required to befriend her father, so just keep that in mind. Usually, all the marriage candidates in this game, you sort of have to befriend their family members as well. If you're not friends with their family, then they don't want to marry you. Isaac likes rocks, as does Wilbur. So that's super easy. Joan is also another really easy one. She likes every type of flower. I would give her the toy flowers because they're sort of the odd one out. They're not anybody's favorite color, but she likes all flowers. So that's a good gift for her. For Marion, I would give her mint or chamomile or yellow flowers. You can give yellow flowers to either of these two ladies. I've skipped Raoul because I do not have a good gift for Raoul at this moment, but that is going to change come summertime. I did mention that at our bazaar. He's kind of been screwing me out of some potential items, which I'm low-key upset about. But we are going to try and befriend him come summertime. Lauren likes blue flowers. And I also currently don't have a really good gift for Cindy. The only opportunity I had to befriend Cindy in any way was the flower festival. If you try to give her flowers outside of the festival, she doesn't like any of them aside from red flowers, red or pink flowers, which we don't have access to right now. Freya is a difficult one. She likes alcohol and perfume and things that we just cannot make right now. We need access to more windmills. We need to be able to grow more crops. I just really don't have much for her. And her favorite color is red. And I don't have red flowers either. So the only thing I've been able to give Freya are butterflies. And she's one of the reasons that I want to stockpile butterflies come summer, because I'm gonna have absolutely nothing to give her, and she's gonna really fall behind in terms of her heart level from the other girls if I don't kind of keep an eye on that. I'm waiting for the wives to come out. I'm assuming they're gonna come out for a little chat, and I have a gift for each of them as well. I don't have anything decent for Felix at this time, but you can give him flowers just as a kind of a neutral gift. You do have to befriend Felix, as well as Lloyd, actually, if you want to marry Sherry. Sherry, you can keep a couple of turnips and turn them into salads and give them to her as a gift if you'd like. But we do have 2 salad options going into summer for her, which are all 500-point gifts. Sherry's a bit of a health nut. She really likes salads, but fortunately for us, she also likes moondrop flowers, and she likes butterflies. I would say she's probably the one candidate I have had the least amount of issues befriending, but a lot of my gift options for her disappear come summer, so it is a bit of a challenge. I am going to try and save up some butterflies for her as well. Claire likes blue flowers, and Nellie likes yellow flowers. And sometimes with characters like this, it's really hard to tell because she's wearing yellow, and usually you can kind of base people's colors around what they're wearing, but she's also got pink hair. So you're thinking to yourself, does she like red? Does she like yellow? But she likes yellow. And then with someone like Claire, it's a complete mystery. She's not wearing any colors at all. And we're almost done. We just have to find Kevin, but I've explained a couple times that he likes bugs, so he's super easy. You can give any kind of bug to him. I think he also likes frogs. Gonna just catch all the butterflies that I can. And Ivan is another one who's pretty easy to befriend, especially if you're playing as a female character. I already have his heart level to blue at the end of summer because you can give him mint and chamomile, which are both 500-point gifts, and we will continue to get those throughout the summer season. That is not something that runs out at any time. Soon, anyways, so... We did talk to Angelo on our way. Here's Daisy. Hello. Daisy likes the color red. I don't have any red flowers for her, so she's another one that I've been giving butterflies to. Come summer, we will have a flower for her that she likes. So I can save my butterflies for Sherry and Freya, and I can give her the new type of flower that we're going to be getting. And I'll probably still save frogs and things like that for Antoinette. And I think the only villagers that we have left are Ethel and Stuart. So Stuart likes yellow flowers. And Ethel is another character similar to Marion. I believe that she likes every kind of flower is pretty much fair game. But I'm pretty sure her favorite color is blue, actually. And that's it. We managed to give out all kinds of gifts. We didn't discriminate. We pretty much gave everybody a gift that we knew had something that was interesting to them. Unfortunately, Felix and Raoul and Cindy are gonna have to wait. And then if we stop by Raoul's store, I am going to purchase some chicken feed while I'm here. So the cost of chickens is pretty low if you consider the fact that a bag of chicken feed costs $80, and because we only have one chicken right now, it's gonna take a very long time for that chicken to go through this. Always a good idea to keep this stuff on hand, because remember, Raoul is probably going to be closed 2 days at a time, most weeks. And having some animal medicine on hand is also a good idea. Now, it's very costly for your animals to get sick. $500 is not a cheap price to cure them. I don't think I'm going to need that at this moment in time. But if you do have the storage space, I would definitely recommend keeping some on hand. I guess for now, I will just use up all my stamina doing some diving, because the only thing I have left is harvesting my turnips. That's it. I don't have to water, I don't have to fertilize, nothing. I've been catching a lot of cans lately, and it's been pretty depressing. It's exciting when you see that you get an item, and I've actually been pretty successful catching items, but every time I do, it's nothing good. I have not gotten an ore stone or a piece of gold or anything really worthwhile in a long time, and that's why I'm kind of holding on to those items right now. I did take a chance and sell a couple of my stones earlier on in the season, but I think because I just haven't been having a lot of luck, I've been holding on to them. A small coin. I mean, those are worth 80 bucks a piece at the Bazaar, so that's at least something. And there's gonna be a lot of this in the next couple of days. Really, when you don't have crop care, things can become pretty boring. But we are gonna get access to a new windmill in the summertime. We are gonna get a fishing rod in the summertime. We will be unlocking more things to do. And I also worked my absolute butt off in summertime when I was playing on my other file. I did so much planting, so much watering. I kept very, very busy. We also got the notification that our tea is done for our festival. So go ahead and keep those in our inventory. They don't expire, so we don't have to worry about them expiring before, you know, tomorrow. And now I'm just going to rinse and repeat. I'm gonna grab my crops, and then with what energy I have left, I'm probably just gonna go and do some more swimming and hope for the best. I guess I will try and put away some of these things until I need them again, just because I don't want them to go bad. And I have a lot of room in storage right now, thankfully, which is super nice. I know that's going to change, but I am savoring it right now. And I've put my chicken feed in my storage, and as you can see, it now comes out of this nice little dispenser. So we now have food out for our chicken just in case they need it, in case there's a crappy day outside, but we do have a festival tomorrow, so we should be safe. I am going to finish up the rest of my day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for what will probably be the very last video of the spring season before we get into summer, which I'm very excited about. It's time for a change. We'll get a change of scenery, a change of music, we'll get some more stuff to do. I'm looking very forward to it. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.